You know, power poles are probably one of the best add-ons that you could buy for your bass boat. I think dollar for dollar, you're going to get the most money out of your power poles than you're going to get out of anything that you could buy to put on your boat. And I'm going to try to give you a couple tips that'll help you use your power poles a little bit more efficiently. Of course, they're really easy to use. You don't really need an instruction manual to learn how to use power poles, but there's a couple little tricks that I think you can do that'll make you a little bit more stealthy, and of course that means you'll catch more fish. Now, a lot of times when I use my power poles, I'm going down the bank, I'm fishing, you know, I'm just fishing just a little rock bank here, and I'll stop and really concentrate on some of those areas that I think are high percentages, a little lay down, a little stump, stuff like that. If I know that's approaching, I'm going to use my power poles to help me slow down. And one thing that'll help you guys out there when you're using your power poles and you're actually in motion is when you're going down the bank like how we are now and you decide to actually deploy your power poles, is you're going to let them down. And of course you've got 3 speeds now, so you can use whatever speed you use. Most of the time I'm going to use the fastest speed there is. But you notice when I let those poles down that once they finally hit the bottom of the lake, that they kind of loaded like a rubber band, and as I stopped, I actually started to drift back about 5 or 10 foot. And that's great, that's okay sometimes, but every once in a while that can pull you out of placement when you're trying to really soak it around a piece of structure. And what you want to do is when those poles hit the bottom, what I like to do as soon as I feel the boat starting to stop, I actually let my poles back up just a touch. Not much, but just let them up just a touch, 6 or 8 inches off the bottom. Then that boat's going to sit there perfectly still. Then I'll hit the down button again and deploy my poles so they actually dig into the bottom. So that's a good way to use your poles when you're actually in motion. You're going to stop the boat, and then as you feel the boat actually come to a dead stop, just lift them just a little bit and then deploy them back down. Having 3 speeds on my poles is real important as well. A lot of times I'm going to use them at the fastest speed there is. So if I see something that I really want to soak it in, I'm going to hit the button 2 times real quick and stop on a dime. But there's times where I'm just kind of milling around and I just want to easily let those poles up. That's when I'm going to put it in that slow mode. When I just don't want them to go down real fast and slap the water and spook the fish, I'm going to slow down my pole speed, and that's going to help me be a little bit more stealthy. And of course that 3rd speed is just one in between. You know, sometimes you don't want it too fast, sometimes you don't want it too slow, you want it somewhere in between. But having those 3 options is a real good thing, because I can really slow down and be methodical about my cast, work a piece of structure over really good. You know, the last tip I have is keeping my poles halfway deployed. If I know that I'm in a hot zone area, I'll keep my poles about halfway down, because what that does is that allows the poles to get down to the bottom that much quicker. I'll put it in the quick speed, leave my poles, I'll fish around with them about halfway down, and if I see something that really catches my eye, the poles are going to get to the bottom way faster. So I can just roll around. You're not going to hurt anything with them, just leave them about halfway deployed, fish around. If you see something that you really want to take your time with, you let those poles down and they're going to get to the bottom a lot quicker, and you can stop on a dime, which is the whole reason you've got a shallow water anchor system. I can promise you, if you get a set and you don't already have a set, buy you a set of power poles and you will be pleased at your boat control you're going to get out of your boat.